Okay, so I get this question a lot, and I feel like it's kind of polarizing when people ask me. They say, what do you think makes a good Evo? And when I answer, I have to tell them, I'm not talking about what makes an Evo game-breaking or what makes it strong. I'm talking about what makes a good card a good concept. And I have two characteristics to measure whether an Evo is a good concept or not. One, it makes it better at its niche. Take it, for example, the Evo Firecracker. What's the Evo Firecracker's niche? It shoots something from a range, and then it has its little split shot that damages stuff behind it. That's the main thing it does. It's the only card in the game that does that. Evo Firecracker pretty much does the exact same thing as the regular Firecracker does, and that's a good thing. You don't want a card that changes completely how its interactions go. And that leads us into the second point, is that most of the interactions stay the same. Evo Firecracker was really bad when they gave it higher health to make it survive arrows. That was terrible, that was game-breaking, and that was genuinely the worst design they've ever done. But since then, they retracted that, and that's a good idea. Because the main thing that makes an evolution a good idea and fair and balanced is whether it does better at its niche, and it doesn't change many of the other interactions. Evo Firecracker still dies to arrows. Evo Firecracker can't kill a P.E.K.K.A on its own. Evo Firecracker is a little bit better at kiting because it keeps launching itself backward, but it doesn't instantly kill a balloon. It doesn't instantly kill a P.E.K.K.A. It's just a little bit better than a regular Firecracker, and that's what an Evo is supposed to be. Mortar, it's still got the same health, it's still got the same functionality. It does launch a Goblin though, but it doesn't really necessarily change much, because Mortar still mostly dies to Earthquake. It can still be tanked for, it can still be distracted by other cards across the map, and it's still very easily killable if you play it wrong. Like, these are evolutions that are good functionally, and they're fair and balanced. And they were designed by a person who knows what they're doing and knows how to balance a game. And then you look at something like Evo Cannon. Evo Cannon is my least favorite card in the game, and I'll tell you exactly why. For anybody who's going into the game blind, what do you think Cannon does? Cannon is a stationary structure, and it shoots things that come near it. Very, very basic. It's the most basic card in the game, probably. And then what does Evo Cannon do? You ask somebody who's just getting into the game, what does Evo Cannon do? And you know what they're going to respond with? I don't know. It probably is better at shooting things. I don't know. I played Clash of Clans. Maybe it's like a giant cannon where the cannonball keeps traveling through. Or maybe it's like a double cannon where it takes multiple shots. Both of those would be so much better than what we have right now, because let me tell you what we have right now. We have a card that essentially, for 3 elixir, you clear an entire board. There's a big beatdown push coming at you. Not anymore, it's not, because it just deletes it all. Evo Cannon is probably the worst concept that we have in this game because it's a complete bailout. It doesn't serve its function any better because it's just a regular cannon that just rains down hellfire from the skies once you play it. It doesn't do anything any different. And that's the problem with it, is it's not better at its niche, but it changes a million other interactions. It kills so many other small cards. You can play it at the river and it'll damage all of their defenses. You're going to hear me say it a million times this video, and I apologize for that, but Evo Cannon is the worst evolution in this game. I think there's some pretty good fixes to make it a little bit better. I think, honestly, we could just rework it to be either like a giant cannon from Clash of Clans or a double cannon from like the Night Village. Honestly, anything would probably be better than what we have right now, because I don't say this from a whining perspective. Like, I actually have a pretty decent win rate against Evo Cannon just because of my deck. Like, this isn't coming from a place of salt. This is coming from a place of like, this is fundamentally not the right way to present an Evo to this card. This completely changes how it's played, and it changes so many other interactions, and it doesn't really make it that much better beyond that. But going to their new evolution that just dropped, Evolution Inferno Dragon, I think this is the best Evo they've released in a long time, because honestly, it's not really that amazing in the first place. It's still good. It's still going to melt your tanks. It's still going to be a hard counter to those Cretans at 7,500 trophies that know nothing besides, ooh, P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight at the bridge. Whoa, I win the game. No, it's going to completely counter them. And honestly, I feel like that's the best thing they can do in this game. They teach those idiots how to play the game correctly and how to actually think. It still gets reset by the spirits. It still gets reset by E-Wiz. You can still lightning it. It doesn't have any higher health. It just keeps its charge. And that makes it better at its niche of melting down tanks. It doesn't really change how good it is against Skarmy. It's not going to magically melt through your minion horde any faster. Actually, technically it does, but it's still going to die to a minion horde that's placed on it. Like, that's ultimately what you're looking for in a balanced evolution, is whether it can do better at its niche and make a good impact while not completely ruining all of the rest of the balance for that matchup. I think that they learned their lesson from Evo Witch. Evo Witch, in my opinion, was one of the worst that they could have released. And not only because it's a complete mid-ladder menace card, and honestly, they're kind of just catering to those people that buy the pass but still can't hit 9K, so they need all the crutches they can get. There's a lot of other really good ideas that I've seen floating around, and they kind of went with one that is kind of unoriginal. I mean, it just heals, and it changes so much of its interaction. Like I saw a video where it dealt with an entire P.E.K.K.A. Mega Knight push, and like a witch shouldn't do that. A witch that's 5 elixir should not counter a 14 elixir push. But honestly, the Evo Witch wasn't even that bad. It's nowhere near Evo Cannon levels of unbalanced. It's just a slightly kind of weird, iffy concept that ended up being a lot more powerful than I'm sure that they really thought was going to happen. So yeah, that's basically my rant about evolutions and balancing. If you have any disagreements or questions you want me to answer, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me scream at my camera for 10 minutes. And please like the video and subscribe if you want to see more of my beautiful face. And that's all I have. All right, see you guys.